is the request a review tool that's built into your Amazon order page on each individual order. And then there's softwares like Helium 10 or Jungle Scout that will do like mass requests of reviews. Can I sell your product? No, we don't allow reselling of our product. Unless you bought it at retail on Amazon, then have at it. What sector of products? This account, health and household. Top accounts are home and kitchen, baby products, toys and games, office products. If it was ranked, it would go health and household, home and kitchen, baby products, toy products, office products. How do you check for patents? Do you always hire a patent attorney? You can hire somebody like on Fiverr or something, or you can do a basic patent search on the USPTO official.gov site. But yeah, you always want to do a patent search. I've heard some horror stories of people who didn't do a patent search and, ends up costing them thousands of dollars later down the line because they have inventory of a product that they can no longer sell. All private label? Yes, all private label. What's the review thing again? The first one you said, what is that? Amazon Vine program. So it's where you're able to submit up to 30 products into the Vine program, where you're essentially giving away however many units you submit away for free in exchange for Vine customers to leave an honest review about your product. So it's a great way to utilize reviews. You pay, depending on how many products you enroll, you pay the enrollment fee into Vine. Then you obviously eat the cost of your product and the shipping per unit, and then you pay the fee to get it to the customer. So it does cost money to enroll, but 30 reviews especially on a product that has potential is priceless to me. Tahir, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you and everybody in the live. Let's get it going. What do you sell? Like I said, health and household, home and kitchen, baby, toy, and office products. Because I want to launch a product and hired a patent attorney on Fiverr, but still scared to launch it. They said that there's no patents. If they said there's no patents, and then you can also do a basic patent search yourself, if you don't find anything and there's no reason for you to believe that the product has a patent, then I would say that you're good. But I'm not a patent attorney, so at your own risk, of course. Do you like certain price goods to leave enough money for ad spend? Minimum 30. Nowadays, that's maybe even shifting to like 35. But my sweet spot is between like 40 to 60, maybe even like 40 to 70. Me too. I'm scared that the guy just doesn't care. Nikita, you joined the program, if I'm not mistaken. Did you do product selection or did you not do product selection? Remind me. I'm drawing a blank, but I think that if you do, you can even get a second opinion, because how much is a basic patent search on Fiverr? Like 30 to 50-ish. So, to give yourself peace of mind. Car do you drive? Just a regular car, man. I'm not into cars like that. Which actually leads me into the story I wanted to tell. So back in the day, before I had money, I cared about all the materialistic stuff, like a lot. What up, Rihan? How much does it cost to get something actually patented? Like tens of thousands of dollars in most cases. The process takes months, no, years generally. I've never gotten a patent on a product. Joined like 2 months ago. I selected a few products, just waiting for samples. Okay, so you did product research yourself. You could always feel free to send me the product and I can look. Again, I'm not a patent attorney, so I won't be able to do a patent search as well as maybe someone you hire. But just at first glance, like if I know I just enrolled into the program today. Hey, let's go, Times. Welcome to the program, my friend. Could you sell something that has a Chinese patent? Technically, in the US, yes, but it may cause you problems trying to import it out of China. Before I had money, and I'm going to keep just pausing the story while we have questions. What up? What up? But I cared a lot about like materialistic things, so much so. I've told this story, but I never had this to show for the story. I was at my mom's house and she reminded me of this. She found it in my old room, but I cared so much about like showing that I had money. And so I was like 17 years old. I was rolling around with this. It's obviously fake. Some CZs right there. But oops. But yeah, I would wear this around, and it was funny because like I didn't have a job, I didn't have a car, and I was walking around with a necklace that if it was real would probably be. I mean, these are some. I don't know if you could tell. They look big, some big CZs. So probably like a $150,000 necklace minimum. I'm rolling around, getting picked up by the boys, and rolling with this. I have some more funny stories, but maybe we won't drag it out that long. But when I actually did start earning money, I realized that stuff like this is literally meaningless. Nice watch, okay, nothing too crazy. Nice chain, I think as a dude, that's acceptable. Everything else, spend it on living life. How much does it cost to get? Oh, I answered that. Answered that. Answered that. Answered that. Yes, I will when I will have the final product version. We'll show you the product market, etc. Nice. Can we see an office tour? I mean, where my setup is over this way is a little bit messy because I have a bunch of paperwork and stuff that I'm sorting through. But it's really this little nook right here. Aside from over here, I have like filing cabinets, all of my paperwork, desk stuff, files, all that good stuff. But anyways, it's really just this. And then in front of me is a desk. We got the camera. We have the studio lights. Obviously the chair. And then nothing crazy. Just spending my money to good use on Legos. Got the Anubis. We got the, I forget what it's called, but from Avengers, Mandalorian helmet, Lego Game Boy, Tony Stark car, couple books, Transformers, Darth Vader, R2D2. That's more personal stuff. Ferrari astronaut, Toothless from How to Train Your Dragon, Grease helmet, Grease lighter, Porsche, these cool little Star Wars things, Lego Star Wars. So that was, this is a really pointless story, but I'm going to get to everyone's question. But oh, sorry. But yeah, that was the first ever Lego that I built myself when I was a kid. But obviously, I got rid of all of my Legos and it got discontinued. So I actually just bought that one and rebuilt it. Because, yeah, I'm a nerd. But yeah, that's a little background kind of vibe, filling up the shelf more. And then I also have this. I just haven't built it or got it built yet. So we got this too, right here. I'll probably put that up there real quick, and I'm gonna get to everyone's question. Just a fun story. I was obviously into Legos when I was a kid. That's all I ever, like video games, Legos. That's all I cared about. I had a sick Lego collection. My mom would keep all the boxes to my Legos, and I was like, why? Like, why would you keep that? Like it's trash. It was almost like in my head, like hoarder status. It's not like that at all, but you know what I mean? When you're a kid, whatever. was like, she's like, no, these are going to be collectibles one day. And I didn't listen. And then when I became a teenager, I wanted money for, God knows what. So I was like, no, I'm selling all my Legos. So I would sell them for super cheap. When I became an adult, and started getting into like business, I started looking up a bunch of the old Legos that I used to have. And my mom used to be like, they're going to be worth a lot of money. They're going to be worth a lot of money. You should save them, because I had them all built and everything. I don't know how much the Legos were purchased for, because I didn't spend the money on them. But when I looked up all of the old pieces that I used to have, from my rough calculations, was probably sitting on anywhere from like 80 to 120,000 dollars in Legos. So yeah, and I probably sold them for like a few grand at most. So always listen to your mom, like Twist said, always listen to your mom. So yeah, some of these are going to be collectibles. Like, and I'm sorry, we're going to get to Amazon questions. Like, this already got discontinued. The one that I just showed got discontinued. What else got discontinued? I think I have a student who's really into Legos, so he actually told me, and I think one of these Star Wars. So you can still find them on Amazon, but the price went up a bunch since I bought them. But yeah, that's my little collectible and flex. Should I send the SKU or FNSKU to the manufacturer? FNSKU. I go over it, how to get the barcode in the curriculum, Alex. What was your first listed product? It was a gummy supplement back in 2019. I seen your traveling page. Location freedom is for real the goal. Yeah. So like, some people like cars. That's awesome. Some people like watches. That's awesome. I could give a rat's rear end about that stuff. For me, it's traveling. If you guys haven't checked out the page, Luke Basha Travels. Yeah, that's my thing. I enjoy it. $55 product. How much should I expect to spend on ads my first month? The price of the product is not indicative on how much you're going to spend on the product by any means at all. The budget that you set for your ads is going to depend on how much you spend. So if you set $5 a day budgets, then you can spend up to $150 a month on ads. If you set $10 a day budgets, then you can spend $300 a month on ads. But your price of the product are relevant. You into cars? Nah. Diego, thank you for the follow. What up, Slimmy? I think you need that Lego Icons Porsche if you don't have it. I don't have it. Where is it at? On Amazon? Lego Icon Porsche. Oh, you know what? I did see this one. The little old school one. Okay, let's order it. I do like that one. It's pretty sick. Does the program give a breakdown on H10, or do you have videos on it? Yes. When you're getting a GT3, oh man, probably never. What's that run for nowadays? Porsche GT3 for sale. MSRP 300,000. I mean, I guess that's a 2026. I wouldn't buy a 2026. Let's just say for 300 grand, what could I do for 300 grand? A lot more than buy something that I would never drive. Give that to my ma. Better money spent. I'm telling y'all. I mean, I can't make anybody see the experiences or mindset that I have, nor is it a matter of trying to convince anybody, but the experiences and all of the things that I've gone through in life. Remember, I used to care about the materialistic stuff. If you were here for the story, if you weren't here for the story, I'm not flexing this. This is fake. It was a story of when I was young, trying to like flex the flashy lifestyle. But at the end of the day, man, whether you're, my age, I'm 26, whether you're 60, whether you're 45, everybody's going to die. And when you do, whether you have 17 supercars or whether you have zero supercars, uh, you ain't taking it with you. How did you live your life? You feel me? If buying cars makes you happy and that's what fulfills you at the end of your life, then do it. Then do it. But it ain't gonna, you know, nobody's gonna be sitting there at your funeral being like, yo, Luke was an amazing human. He had a Lamborghini and he had a Ferrari and he had a Porsche, and that's why we're all here and we really loved him. Nah. Thoughts on FBM? Not a fan. FBA all day, every day. You keep the boxes? Yeah, I have them in storage. Do you source from Alibaba? Yeah, a lot of products. Do you have a course because you have a lot of free time and another source of income? Yeah, Leo, I have a mentorship. It's not a course, it's a full ecosystem for Amazon sellers. But yeah, I do have a lot of free time, bro. I mean, I work 4 to 6 hours a week on my Amazon businesses. This account, I was optimizing it this week. I spent not even an hour, maybe 45 minutes optimizing the ads. And that was my work for the week on that account. Now I operate other Amazon accounts, but let's pretend that was the only one. 45 minutes of work. Obviously, it wasn't 45 minutes every week getting that established and things like that, but that's how it is now. Your mom is smart. If only I listened to mine more. I lost tons of Pokemon cards because I was. Yep. I mean, I'm telling you, man. I mean, it's funny becoming an adult now and having a bunch of youngsters around, and it's like a never ending cycle. It's like you think that you know more than your parents, but then you realize when you get older, there was a lot of things that they said where you're like, oh, that makes sense. And then you see the generation after you and you're like, hey guys, like, you should probably listen to this. And they're like, we know better than you. And you're like, oh man, I've seen this play out with me before. Buy me a clutch. Yeah, bro. I mean, I was ignoring you because no. Rats we're in, life experience is way more important than materialistic items. Yeah, for sure. 2022, I got in a car accident. Pretty nasty one, to be honest, but like really just came out with some bruises from the seatbelt. Actually, it's not all I came out with. I broke my back, but I didn't know that in the moment. And I remember a few days later, I was sitting there thinking like, man, I could have like lost my life. And this is when I had like found success, but I was still like in hustle mode. And I was like, I mean, I didn't make it, but I've already created what I wanted. And if I went that day, I would have spent my entire adult life behind four walls, just working behind a computer. So in that moment, I was like, I am going to choose to live life and not just focus on this materialistic rat race, keeping up with the Joneses. Do you only do US? We sell other places as well. Canada, some UK, some Mexico. The Rock, thank you for the follow. How accurate is helium-10 PPC bid estimates? Pretty inaccurate. Choose what makes your heart happy, not what impresses others. Yep, don't keep up with the Joneses. I've known too many people who have gone broke trying to keep up with the Joneses. If you sell 4 million, this much money, why on TikTok for that? For I don't get it's people same. Hold on, I need a. All right, I'm assuming foreign. You got to work on the grammar a little bit, buddy. I don't even think this guy's in the live. I already said it. I worked 45 minutes on this Amazon account, my friend. We are not the same. respectfully. You work 40 hours for, I don't know, what's the average weekly income? 40 hours times, let's be generous, $2,600. I probably work on that account 40 hours in a year, and it's 7 figures in profit. Random, but would you trust a trading company to manufacture your product? It's contextual. I'd rather it be a manufacturer, but if a trading company was the one who had a better pricing and I had samples and it was good, I had trade assurance and it was better pricing than I got from manufacturers, they were able to do my differentiators, then yeah, I think it's solid. What's the best way to check CPC before you launch a product? Create a mock listing and then go through as if you're going to actually create an Amazon ad campaign, and Amazon will give you your cost per click. Or Data Dive, because Data Dive pulls it directly from the Amazon API. Even with your proven manufacturer, do you still look for cheaper packaging / production costs for other manufacturing or even the same manufacturers? I'm always trying to get lower cost, yes. And then in terms of like, am I searching for new manufacturers? Contextual, sometimes yes. Sometimes you have to weigh out what your situation is. So let's say that I have a manufacturer who charges me $11, but they're on top of it. If I have compliance issues, they help me. Response times are quick. They never delay. I never have issues. And then I have a manufacturer who's brand new and they want to charge me $10.80 per unit. So it's 20 cents less, or let's even say $10.50. But I have the trust with this other manufacturer. I have a working relationship. Maybe at some point I'll get my cost down. I don't know if the 50 cents would be worth me completely changing. Now, would I maybe have that other manufacturer on standby? Potentially. Am I going to completely abandon my original manufacturer over what wouldn't even affect my margins by 1-2%? Maybe not. Mustard, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. Do you recommend starting with arbitrage? No, I personally don't, but I mean, if you go into somebody's live who does arbitrage, they would recommend for you to start with arbitrage. So what do you want to do is what it comes down to. Ian, thank you for the follow. Did you have success with your first product? I did. I don't have one of those stories where I failed 9 times and was resilient and was finally successful. My very first product hit. My very first product changed my life. And my very first product gave me proof of concept that this can be a real career. And here we are 7 years later, and it has been. Can I sell many products under one trademark? Yes. Private labeling, yes. Private label is the best business model in my opinion. It's just like I think I don't have enough capital to start private label, just seeking options. If that's the case, then do arbitrage, man, for sure. I would say that's the only viable reason to do it, is if it's a capital issue, which there's nothing wrong with that. I'm about to order samples, so I hope it changes mine. God willing. I mean, obviously there's no guarantees in success, but yeah, just like, maybe this is a bad example. I don't know. Sometimes like I like analogies. I'm maybe like 60% on them. 60% are good, 40% maybe not. But it's kind of like at the beginning of a football season. Every single team, regardless of players, statistics, odds, every team has an equal chance of making it to the Super Bowl, winning the Super Bowl. But in the end, there's one. Now, don't look at it as the other teams are your competition. The other teams are versions of you. You're really just competing against yourself. And so it's like you have as equal of a chance as everybody else who starts a business, but at the same time, that doesn't guarantee it. And you have to put in the work. You have to stick to the fundamentals. You have to launch a good product. You have to understand good strategy. Can you have organic sales? You need to run ads. Both. You need to run ads in order to gain organic rank so that you can get organic sales. But once you become established, you never turn ads off. But like on that account, more than 70% of sales come from organic, unpaid traffic. Some tips on product development and differentiation. I think I found a good market. Rihan, go watch my last YT video that I posted, my friend. It's a gem, and I go over differentiation. That makes sense. What about postage packaging? Do you ever get tailored or custom packaging? Yes, I do. In most cases, it's my manufacturer who provides it. Only once have we ever gotten custom packaging from a third-party packaging company who then sent the it was custom, so obviously we had the die lines, we designed it. The manufacturer sent us the dimensions and everything, and then we sent it to the packaging company, and then they sent it to the manufacturer. I started PL recently and have 3 refunds already. I'm not happy. A few things with this. Number one, how many sales do you have? Because it's relative. If I have 3 returns, but I have 100 sales, I'm at a 3% return rate. That's really not the worst thing ever. That's number one. Number two, your listing. So I had a student who I don't want to say his product, obviously. I had a student who in his infographics was depicting his product in a way that maybe was not 100% accurate when a customer received his product. So it was causing returns and bad reviews. He fixed that, and what do you know? The returns stopped, because it's kind of like if I have this cup and I'm like, this cup can hold 1 gallon of water. And then the customer receives the cup and they're like, I can't fit a gallon of water in this thing. And then so they return it. But then if I make my infographic, this can hold 16 ounces of water. A customer sees that and they get it and they're like, yeah, 16 ounces. Cool. And look at that, no returns. So sometimes that's a scenario, or it's just a quality issue, which that's unfortunate, but that's why I always want to get samples. How much do you recommend having for private label? I would say around 3 to 5K USD. I saw this video today. Oh man, I actually might have to make a video about this video because it was just a buster video. But somebody was like, don't listen when somebody says you need 5K on Amazon, because realistically you need this much to sell on Amazon because your ads, and if I'm spending $5,000 a week on my ads and this and that. And I was like, holy crap, this is why people who aren't making money on Amazon should not give anybody advice about how to sell on Amazon, because that advice is literally god awful. But let's break down this concept. If I launch a product and I'm at 30% margins, okay, what is it when is it missing chromosomes? Is that what it is? I think that's maybe the case of what's going on with this one. But if I have a product and I am at 30% margins, that means that I have 30% on my ad spend to be able to play around with, to be at break even, right? So in this video, it was like, but if I'm spending $5,000 on ads and Amazon payments are delayed, well, first of all, genius, who's giving other people advice on Amazon, if Amazon payments are delayed and you're not profitable and don't have cash flow yet, have your ad spend come out of your Amazon account and not your get charged to your credit card. Boom. Solution number 1 solved. Number 2, why on God's green earth is somebody spending hundreds of dollars a day if they're not even at break even on their Amazon ads? That to me would be somebody who doesn't know anything about Amazon ads, which is ironic because they're trying to teach people. But anyways, so problem 2 solved. I don't even remember how I got on this rant. I just remember I wanted to talk about it. But Yeah, there's some people who just make god awful content, and it's and I almost feel bad because there's some of you guys who watch it and think that it's good content, and it's it probably, if I was a beginner and I was watching some of the content that was around nowadays, instead of making $10,000 my first month, I might just have lost $10,000 my first month. It is wild. About to go watch. Let's go, Rihan. How much is your program? 3 to 5K depending on the package. I'm in Canada. Do you think I should focus on USA markets? Yes, always, 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 always. Yes, Rihan, you are 100% correct. The worst Amazon seller in existence that I've ever laid my eyes and ears on. Larry, thank you for the follow. Poor guy. Things like water bottles, I assume, have consistent high search volume, but for many products, it fluctuates. Do you think lower ad spend during low search volume periods? You can always cut back on ad spend a little bit, yeah, but the thing is, you have to understand how Amazon is working. So like, let's say that I'm bidding $1 on the keyword, we're going to keep it simple, on the keyword water bottle. And let's say in December, search volume is 50,000, and then March, it's 10,000. You would think like, oh, I have to bid less or have a smaller budget when it's 10,000 search volume because it's not as much search volume. But realistically, if I'm bidding $1, let's say my budget is $100, okay? If there's less search volume, because of the way that Amazon ad model is, you're only paying when people click. So depending on searches, somebody searches, then they click. If there's less searches, then you just have less people searching, you have less people clicking. So regardless, it's gonna drop down your spend. So I think a lot of things can be controlled by bids. Do you send manufacturer to Amazon, or do you send yourself? No, from manufacturer to Amazon. Are you Arab? Yeah, Egyptian. Why don't you scale your brand / same products with meta ads? Sir, it is 2026. I don't think you're allowed to make assumptions. Cancel culture will come for you, sir. I sell my products everywhere. So I sell my products on Amazon. I sell my products on our own Shopify sites in which we run meta ads to. I sell my own products on Walmart online. We sell our own products on TikTok Shop. So we are quite literally omnipresent. There never has to be an either or. Life isn't black and white, it's gray. Life isn't blue and red, it's purple. I'm a little confused on the discounts on Amazon. Are they just offered to use certain periods? It depends on what discount you're talking about. They offer different discounts. Tish, thank you for the follow. I'm from Syria. Nice. That's what's up. User 39, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you and everybody in the live vibe and asking questions. Master Uguay. What's up, Sierra Ahmed, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you as well, my friend. By the way, I posted some gem videos on the TikTok. I post like a lot of videos every day. Last video showing some Amazon sales. Second to last video going over, do Amazon brands last a long time? Other video talking about students, and then another video talking about optimizing my Amazon ad campaign. So if y'all have not already, check that out. Nathan, thank you for the follow. Econ, thank you for the follow. Put a noob to ads, get proficient within 90 days. If you want from the right person, 100%. There's something about the way you talk here that makes me distrust you. It's like you're annoyed. Well, there's this don't know where my profile is, but if you click on my profile and you click the block button, the cool thing is you never have to see my content again. In fact, if you would like, I'm more than happy to just do it for you. How long did it take you to get to your first mill on my second year? Best categories you recommend for beginners? It's easier to say the categories that I don't recommend. If you want, I can still tell you the ones that I do, but the ones that I recommend would be like home and kitchen, office products, baby products, toys and game. Wait, hold on. I home and kitchen, kitchen and dining, office products, toys and games, baby products, pet supplies, sports and outdoors, patio and lawn, tools, home and improvement, health and household, and I believe those are the top 10. Categories that I would avoid: fragile products, electronic products, clothing products, shoe products, jewelry products, consumable products, and topical products. Those would be ones that I most definitely would avoid, especially as a beginner. So, why? Electronics, fragile, clothing, shoes, highest return rates on Amazon, not beginner friendly. Consumables, topicals, super high advertising costs, super established markets, super established brands. 9 times out of 10, a beginner would lose money. Maybe 9.5 times out of 10. If someone was to enter the water bottle space, albeit would they need a lot more capital than more reasonable product sectors? Yeah. Do you purchase wholesale from distributors? I don't do wholesale. I do private label. Do you also avoid products that are heavy? It depends. I don't think a heavy product is makes a disqualifies a product to me, but I just think it depends on how heavy. What would a reasonable monthly revenue goal be for 3 to 4 months lead time? I don't really like answering these questions, to be honest. I mean, I guess you answered it differently. Uh, you asked it differently. I don't know. Still, have whatever revenue goal you want. Make it $1 million. Doesn't make a difference on what is actually going to transpire once you launch. Make it 10 million. I don't even say that to be like a D bag. Um, I can make my like I can launch a product on Amazon tomorrow. Have the strategy, get reviews. My goal can be $10 million for the product, or my goal can be $7 for the product. Just me sticking to the strategy, that goal is absolutely meaningless. So, lesson in that story is start. Do you find products based on review count as well? Yeah, determines if it's a very established market. So I'm looking for lower to medium reviewed markets. How to do this step by step. I have a free course on my TikTok. If you go to my TikTok page, it says like A and Z free course A through Z. I go over it step by step. So make sure you check that out. Make sure that you're following the page. Do you go straight from manufacturing to Amazon, or do you label your inventory? Not straight from the manufacturer to Amazon. As a private label, how does the customer trust you for starting? Because they're buying. That's actually a really good question. It's because they're buying the product from Amazon. Amazon has built this. This is one of the big things that I always say about Amazon. It's the largest e-commerce platform in the world. It is the most trusted e-commerce platform in the world. A majority of people, not saying like you guys, but a majority of people think that no matter what they buy on Amazon, they're buying it from Amazon. Just your product being on Amazon equals trust to the customer. Are you strictly Amazon then, no Shopify? No, we sell our products everywhere. Amazon's just the pillar platform, the main one. Jimmy, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you, my guy, and everybody in the live asking questions, vibing. Always love when we have the lives popping with questions. And Evans, thank you for the follow. Man, shameless plug. If y'all aren't following the page, make sure that you are. I go live every week, multiple videos every day. So make sure that you lock it in. Do you need an Amazon PPC specialist? No, I've never hired somebody for PPC in my life. But I also think that I'm really good at Amazon PPC. But I also was really bad at Amazon PPC. I think first is to sell enough to not require more investment. And first big goal would be 10K a month. Yeah, I agree. I just don't think put a time frame on it. I think it's great to have goals. I think it's amazing. I think you should have goals. Like I want it, 10K or 50K. Have multiple goals, small and large. But putting time frames on them or conditions, like I'm only going to start Amazon if I can hit 10K in profit within this amount of time, then you shouldn't start. If you were like, hey, I want to start Amazon and my goal is to hit 10K and then I have another goal of 50 after that, that's amazing. That's awesome. Great mindset. Get to work. So you advertise on Google, Meta, as well as purchase PPC from Amazon. Yeah, but different platforms. So like Meta goes or drives traffic to Shopify. Amazon PPC obviously drives traffic to Amazon. Do you help with VA? Do I help with VAs or do I get help from VAs? I don't. I have VAs, but it's really small, like busy work. BB, thank you for the follow. I want 1 billion a month. There you go, Alex. Alex, one of the students. What I've learned recently is even with the most successful products, it's minimum 6 months before you can think about taking profit out. Yep. Pretty standard. I mean, I don't know. I think I talked about it yesterday. I think you were in here, Georgios, but we placed a 300 unit order for a product that we launched. Then we just placed a 1,000 unit order, and we maybe have sold like 200 units, but just based on sales projections, we're like, well, we don't want to run out of stock again. So we'll probably go and order 2,000 units. I'm sure we'll get a discount, but let's just assume that it's at our current price. I actually don't even remember what our current price is. Let's just say 11. I'm pretty sure. I just don't remember if it's like 10 something or 11 something. Anyways, so we're not even a year into this product. We're on our third order and we're going to go drop, and this is before shipping, we're going to go drop 22 grand on inventory. We're profitable. The business is profitable. We're making money. But like to even imagine to take profit out of the business when we have to go purchase, let's call it with shipping, $30,000 worth of inventory, it doesn't make sense. Now, when it gets to a point where I'm ordering 5,000 units, okay, and I'm just putting random numbers, I'm ordering 5,000 units, and I can steadily just reorder 5,000 units. We're continuing to be profitable. Then I can start taking profits. But if I'm going from 1,000 to 2,000 units, from 2,000 units to 5,000 units, from 5,000 units to 10,000 units, that's growth. It's a very cash intensive business. Don't think about it. Actually, there's a lot of successful businesses that go out of business, not because of sales being down or anything like that. It's because they run out of money. So you definitely have to be very cash flow focused and very conscious of your margins at all times. Y'all, shameless plug, y'all make sure that you go check out my last few videos. And if you haven't already and you wanted me to be your mentor along your entire journey, like literally have access to me while you're selling on Amazon, be able to reach out to me, have all my strategies, have all the resources, my shipping company or the freight forwarder that I use, the graphic designers that I use, the inspection company that I use, the trademark attorney that I use, weekly group coaching calls with me, all of these different things. Be sure to check out the AMZ Masterclass in the TikTok bio. the Harvard of Amazon private label education. We actually got a few students up in here right now. We are going to be increasing the price here fairly soon. So if you want to, and the price is increasing, but so is the value. So all students in there are going to be godfathered in. Any new students, you would have to pay more. So if you want to lock it in now, check it out, go apply, hop on a call with the team. Yes, Musa. If the growth requires capital, you got to feed it. You feed yourself later. That is a great way of putting it. You do private label. I do. What up, Ecom? Good to see you, my guy. As always, we got Show, we got Ecom, we got Airstick. We probably got a few more, but we got some students up in here. AMZ Masterclass students. Again, the Harvard of Amazon private label education. Oh, and Alex. Can't forget my guy, Alex. But y'all check it out in the TikTok bio. Go show some love to my last few videos. And I hope everybody has a blessed rest of their night. And I will see y'all soon.